Gangstas. It's been a minute. I've missed you guys. So we are doing an all signs reading, and let's talk about like the planets and stuff first before we dive too deeply into that. So right now the moon is in Scorpio at 22.6% illumination, headed towards that new moon or half moon, sorry, in Capricorn on the 22nd. And there's been a lot of planets going retrograde, planets going direct, and I feel like there's kind of a negative connotation with like planets being in retrograde, right? And let me just kind of like play the devil's advocate for a second and talk about this. When Venus went into retrograde, I mean it's direct now, but when it did, I think it helped us to like all collectively, get a little outside of our emotions, and a little bit more in our heads. And maybe because I'm an air sign, I appreciate that energy, but it felt very like good to be able to take a breather, from feelings and all that. And then going into like Pluto being in retrograde. Pluto is the planet of mischief. All right, that's Hades. So there's, when Pluto is running amok through the zodiacs, like he's not quiet and subdued about it. He's like blah, and Pluto shows up in the form of temptation, pressure, from your peers and whatnot. It could show up in addiction or, just things that aren't really super good for you, right? Like even unhealthy foods, for example. When, because I've noticed too that like, because at my work we have like always a stash of like junk food in the break room, And I noticed that, like, before Pluto went retrograde, like, everyone was devouring all the junk food, right? Nothing stood a chance. It was all gone in 2 days. It was like, hello, goodbye. But it's like, since Pluto went retrograde, then it's like, now I've noticed, like, people are eating salads at work and not bringing that stuff, It's like, they're making, and it's kind of just a collective thing, and Mars and Mercury are not in retrograde. They're direct right now. So, there's also this energy of like thinking clearly, right? Being objective, not being all like foggy and fuzzy with all the emotions and all that. It's like you can really sort out your thoughts. You can really get a grip on it, which is nice. I think it's been kind of good because, like, the beginning of the year, when we had no planets in retrograde for a couple months, and then Pluto was just wreaking fucking havoc everywhere, right? Like, everywhere. It's like, man, and there were no planets in retrograde. Like Pluto was, just doing his thing, and everyone was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And it's like, well, Hades is, running amok. It's fine. Oh, I dropped it. Hold on, I'm gonna pause this so I can get my vape, and then we can start reading. I'll stop rambling, probably. All right, I'm back. So, I don't necessarily feel that planets being in retrograde is a negative thing. I think it really has to do with our personal experience during those times, how these planets are affecting us, with our states of mind and what we've already healed from, what we need to heal from, those kinds of things. So, without further ado, let's see how all this is affecting you and how you're perceiving these shifts that are happening, I feel that your perspectives could have been kind of changed over, the course of this last year. Because I know, like, everybody is kind of, we've had to evolve very quickly to the way that life is evolving very quickly around us. Kids are saying bussin' and no cap, and I'm still over here like, what up, geeksters? Dude, like, I don't know. Shit's changing, and we have to evolve, okay? No cap. Like, so, let's see. Interesting. This is like polarizing energy that I'm seeing here. We have fall into my arms, right? This is like, it says surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life, right? And to me, when I'm seeing this, because she's like swimming, and it's kind of like, I'm seeing surrendering to the flow, and then, even seeing the waterfall in this one, the earth pulsing, the pulse of the mother, slow down, take time in nature. This is still kind of that energy of like going with the flow and just kind of accepting life as it is. Then there's this card, and this is all about your perspective, and it says none of this matters, zoom out, common ground, right? So like, and that's kind of like focusing on how something here, that we have a lot of flow cards showing up, something here isn't quite going with the flow, right? It's like taking certain things too seriously, or, not seeing eye to eye on certain issues. It's about, gaining some like introspection and retrospection, and really seeing things, almost from an outsider point of view, because if you see, like, it's all zoomed out and Earth is way in here, like, all this shit that's going on Earth doesn't actually matter to the rest of outer space, and it's like the further you go out, it's like these issues that seem so, like, big in our lives can oftentimes really not be so big, and it's just kind of like multiplied through our own perspective, our own perception of it. So it's really telling you to like slow down and maybe do some meditating, like meditation helps in regards to like just kind of sinking into the flow state. And I feel like thinking probably isn't a good word for that. But you know what I mean? Like surrendering to it. Just like, alright, life is what it is. Some things are out of our realm of control, right? However, I'm nosy. So, what is this card about? Let's grab some clarifiers on that. Damn, they're hard hitting. It's funny, I almost want to form these cards in like a circle, which I've never done, but I feel like I'm gonna do it. So, this card came out last, but I believe in placement and the intuition of placement. So I'm going to start with this, a Ten of Swords, Ten of Air. Ten of Swords is about something, it's like a feeling of defeat or like not really knowing how to push forward on something. With the Five of Pentacles, I see like this sense of loss, It's like struggling to move past like a loss, or having to feeling like you have to let something go. Three of Swords, heartbreak, you know. I'm seeing with the heartbreak, the defeat, the having to let things go, you know, in context with one another. This is like, it's pretty sad, but it's like also a heavy focus on the past. You know, with the Six of Cups, this really indicates that there's a heavy focus on the past. Memories, nostalgia. That song by Harry Styles is coming to mind, that, you know, it's not the same as it was. I can't sing it, but, you know, it's basically that song. It's like having to come to a level of acceptance, you know. It also looks kind of tragic. There's like loss and heartbreak involved in this. Like reliving things in your mind, daydreaming about shit, better days. I also feel like we don't have feelings for no reason. You know, I feel like every feeling that we have, you know, like we have it so that there's something that needs to be addressed in that feeling, right? So what needs to be addressed through this feeling? They're all just like falling in my lap. I spoke too soon. Is it going to fall out or not? Alright. Gangstas. It's funny, we were just talking about Pluto. The Judgment card came out. Pluto energy. Another thing about Pluto is like, and we have Hercules, right? So we have the Lord of the Underworld, you know, Six of Cups is Hercules, and then we have this demigod who's like trying to get back in good graces, right? Trying to get back home, if you will. Ascension. The Judgment card, being Pluto energy, means having to make a judgment call in regards to what you actually desire, right? What outcome you desire, what you really want in your life. So let's see. Four of Swords, Two of Cups in reverse tells me that right now okay, I almost have to read this all together. So the Four of Swords is like having to take care of yourself, you know. Not really like, it's just kind of this energy of like really doing all the self-care work, you know, the things that make you feel better in life. Getting rest, you know, drinking water, the important shit. With the Two of Cups in reverse, we have like a separation, right? With Eight of Cups showing up, somebody who walked away. And then we have Prince of Swords in reverse, which tells me that somebody didn't want them to walk away. And here's that spiraling, right? This spiraling of thoughts that's kind of transpiring. You know, Ten of Swords, Three of Swords, Two of Cups in reverse, Eight of Cups. This all indicates like having to let somebody go, right? A separation period, you know. Could be a separation from like a karmic soulmate or like twin flame, something of that nature. Three of Pentacles in reverse. This could have been somebody that you lived with or worked with. Or somebody that you had like shared responsibilities with, if that makes sense, whether it's bills or work or something of that nature. And we have the Devil, Capricorn energy. Interesting, because we have Pluto. And this is, you know, Capricorn being ruled by Pluto. Could be a Capricorn that you're dealing with. Or you could be a Capricorn. Or they could have it in their chart somewhere very prominently. But what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing Pan, right? With his little pan flute and his little hooves. Pan is very musical in nature, right? Also, with the Devil card, this could be the energy of putting in work in the material world, right? Navigating that, making that work, rather than focusing on, you know, it's almost like with this sense of loss or whatever, it's like you're getting to work on projects or you're, you know, distracting your mind with things. Could be vices as well, right? Because the Devil does represent vices and temptations and things that aren't great for us. It could also represent things that are super great for us, like determination, willpower, rebellion. You know, there's this, you know, authenticity that comes with the Devil as well. So with it being so versatile of a card, let's draw a clarifier for it. What do you mean by the Devil? You could feel like they're the Devil for breaking your heart. Yeah, Four of Pentacles. This is like focusing on your abundance, right? Focusing on things that you feel make you feel better, even if it's only in the moment. Ten of Wands in reverse. This is part of your process of releasing emotional burdens or releasing things that were weighing you down. King of Pentacles in reverse. It's like almost like you knew that you needed to like get control out of one aspect of your life, and you're like, all right, what's in my realm of control? So, and that's your work, that's your livelihood, you know, that's focusing on, you know, your home life and those, you know, things of that nature. I'm also feeling that there could be like some sort of like substance abuse or like some sort of vice here that's, you know, not super healthy. But it's like also part of your process here, or it's part of you processing things, right? Processing pain and the emotional trauma that comes with losing somebody that matters so much to you. Because it can be emotionally traumatizing, you know, these attachments, and then having to separate from them. I'm hearing flower of life. Alright, everything is interconnected. We have the Hermit energy, Virgo energy showing up with the World card. Alright, the World card is all about ending cycles, right? And with that Ten of Wands in reverse, I really see you letting go of emotional burdens or things that weighed you down. This is like starting a new journey, new path. With the Hermit, you know, you could be cutting out the world, certain behaviors, certain things, certain people, and just focusing on that inner work, focusing on how to make your situation better from the inside out, you know, because doing it the other way wasn't working. It's like maybe you need some time in solitude. That was too many cards. But yeah, maybe you need some time in solitude, or maybe you just need to like have time for reflection and healing. With that Four of Swords, it's time for rest, it's time for reflection, it's time for healing. It's not being lazy when you're recharging your battery, right? A car, you know, doesn't become useless just because you turn off the engine to fill it up with gas, right? So like the body is not useless if you need time for rest and relaxation and something that isn't, you know, daunting. It's like, it's not laziness, it's recharging. And card flew across the room. Hold on, I'm gonna grab that. I will catch you. Okay. Dope. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles is showing up. Focused on work, focus on your personal abundance, focusing on building yourself up, like I said. Princess of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody else is also in the process of like trying to let something go. Whatever this nostalgic thing is, it's like there's just this energy of like a mutual trying to like release. Okay. What would Spirit like you to know at this time? Ace of Pentacles in reverse with the Seven of Wands. It's time to let go of old patterns, mindsets, cycles. You know, with the Seven of Wands, I see new opportunities opening up, new doorways, pathways that you didn't perceive as possibilities before, just kind of showing up. And this is kind of like your congratulations for your, you know, your discipline of like letting certain people and things go to make room for like this new cycle and what it has to offer. Yeah, Nine of Cups. I am seeing wish fulfillment, you know, and one thing I've realized about wish fulfillment is it's not always about the thing that you say you wish for, right? If you heavily focus your energy and your attention on something, that becomes your wish, right? A wish, because you're through the law of attraction, right? You're attracting that into your life. When you direct energy towards yourself. Well, where energy is directed, energy goes, right? So, like, this makes you an attractive force for either partners or wealth or both, it's like, but I definitely see doors of opportunity opening up and wish fulfillment happening for you. So whatever it is that you focus on in a fond way, right? Like if you're thinking about like, that's a good example. Like if you're like, oh, that Tesla car, da 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 da, and you don't ever ask the universe for it, but the universe catches you like thinking about it and like looking up the pictures of it, and like, it's like you start manifesting it into your life, and through the channels of energy, opportunities arise for you to have that Tesla, right? And then ultimately the judgment is yours of taking the blessing or not. Because you still have that will to decide. Okay. Let's clarify this wish fulfillment. What are you wishing for through the depths of your consciousness, through your attention, your energy, what you're focusing on? What takes up space in your head and in your heart? Whether that's career path, traveling, what is it? Let's find out. Elaborate. It's interesting. Elaborate. There's something that you're in your head about, right? With the Nine of Wands and Five of Swords. I'm seeing this with the Prince of Wands in reverse. This energy of not pursuing something, right? Prince of Wands in reverse. Not pursuing something because it could cause conflict, right? With the Five of Swords. Or, you're not trying to disturb the peace. Whether you're asking for a promotion or whatever. It's like there's this energy of like, oh, I really don't want to ruffle any feathers in this. But the Nine of Wands, this is like being super up in your head about it, though. It's like, one minute you're like, this is definitely the direction I want to go, the things that I want, da 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 da. And then the next you're like, well, what if this, and what if that, and what if this, and what if that, and creating like an internal conflict, trying to avoid an external conflict. But what you create on the inside happens on the outside, right? As within, so without. As above, so below, right? So it's like you might accidentally manifest what you don't want if you think too much on that, right? That's kind of like a warning here. And what I'm seeing in regards to what it is, seeing Ace of Wands and Four of Wands. Ace of Wands is a passionate new beginning. Four of Wands is the marriage card or the commitment card, right? This is about something that you want to devote like your life to, or like a foundation that you want to build for yourself. And then we have the Empress, right? Venus energy. Venus is Aphrodite, right? We all know that. So with Aphrodite coming up, the goddess of love, the divine mother, right? Goddess of fertility. This is like, this could be inspiring art or creations in some way. This could be like, I'm seeing like a muse, something that's very inspiring to you. I'm hearing captivates. With the Empress, maybe you have like a desire to create something. But there's also this energy of like just this internal conflict. Well, what if this fails? What if that fails? And it's like, don't think too much on that, because then you're gonna manifest the what ifs rather than the what if things happened exactly how you wanted it, right? With no conflict, with no issues, right? Focus on like, in a perfect world, how would this play out, and focus on that energy, because you are manifesting very rapidly, because your vibrations are raising, right? You have a lot of air energy, right? Which tells me your vibrations are high. Because of what you're focusing on, it's bringing a lot of energy out of you. Like creative energy. Thinking energy. Director energy, it's like having a squirt gun and just shooting in all directions. Like, you need to direct it, right? Direct the stream, bro. Queen of Swords. Could be dealing with an Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Also, there's what if they cut me off? What if it, so what? What if? And maybe it sounds cold to say it that way, but that's exactly how the Queen of Swords would respond to that. It's like, if you're not so attached to the outcome, it makes the outcome more fathomable as a reality, right? The more you grow an attachment to the outcome, the more you overthink it, the more you could potentially bring in that Queen of Swords energy. If this is in regards to like pursuing a relationship, or because I do see that there's a lot to let go of as well, and there could also be this energy of like, but it's so fast, or I still have some unresolved things that I need to get through, or whatever, with that Hermit energy. To which I say, it's now or never. I like that old Elvis song. No, but no, it's kind of, if you wait long enough, the opportunities pass you by inevitably, right? So it's like, that's where your judgment comes in on, do you want this wish fulfillment, or do you want to let it pass? It's not gonna make too much of a difference, but how you perceive the outcomes is how the outcomes come out, okay? Whether that's positive or negative. It's like, and with that Seven of Wands, it's showing that it could really go any way right now, because you're still so pensive about it. You need to be very precise, be very direct in the way that you think about this subject and how you want this outcome to play out for you, right? Because like, the universe is getting mixed messages from you when you focus so much on the what ifs, and it's like, oh well, that's what they want, because they're thinking so much on that, obviously. Um, because that's the way the universe is, okay? So you need to just be very direct, very clear about what you want, how you want it to work out, and stick to your guns, because the seed of doubt will try to plant itself in your brain. But ye of little faith don't realize how possible certain things are, right? And so it's kind of like saying, don't water the seeds of doubt. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna use that as a title. Oh, interesting. You could be dealing with an air sign. We have King of Swords. King and Queen of Swords are divine counterparts. Um, both very stubborn. They're stuck in their ways. Both holding up their sword, ready to cut off anything that ain't it, right? That ain't right. But it's kind of funny because your energy is mirrored, like how you think and react, and with the same thought processes that you're going through, it appears they're also going through that. And it's kind of like you want better thoughts to be mirrored between you if you're both manifesting. So, like, create better thoughts to be mirrored, because there's like an energetic connection. Prince of Pentacles in reverse. There's also this need to let go of control in this situation, alright? Or there's an old cycle or pattern that needs to be let go of, and I am seeing that a lot with the Ace of Wands, or the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, Prince of Pentacles in reverse. The Five of Pentacles showing up, it's like old mindsets, old thinking patterns, old behavior patterns need to come to an end in order for this to go anywhere, or to have any direction at all. What if you got exactly what you wanted? You can get exactly what you want. We have the Magician, Mercury energy. You're resourceful, you're capable, you're a master manifester. The universe has your back on what you decide in these moments, right? Then we have 10 of Cups, the ultimate fulfillment, right? This is abundance in your relationships, be it romantic, professional, friendships, family ships, whatever kind of ships you're in, they're good ships. 10 of Cups is also kind of like this healing that transcends just one generation, right? It's, any children that could be looking up to you through this process, if you have kids, or if you have nieces or nephews, or whatever the case, it's like saying that what you do now is influential on younger generations. So it's like, be thoughtful of that and your personal expression of love in life, because your happy ending has a butterfly effect on those around you, and you could lead others to having better outcomes if you learn how to harness your manifestation powers and just let magic work itself, you know? And yeah, Mercury and Venus just both went direct, and they're both showing up here. And it's kind of like, it's time to get out of that retrograde that you're in, dog, right? Because you've been in your own personal retrograde, right? It's looking back on situations and how could I have done this better, and you couldn't have. But it's like thinking on the past, reliving the past, dwelling on the past, you know, creating new fears based on the past and new fears that have no real weight in reality, you know. Like sometimes we just psych ourselves out, you know, and it happens. Thinking about the what ifs. So we have Kali, Kalmas, and Nasini. It is time to free yourself from what has been. Learn from it, but not allow it to define you or direct the course of your life. Give up your stories about the past. You have outgrown them. Kali consumes mistakes, sins, and negativities. Let her free you now so you can be open to the gift of your life unfolding. Kapali. Tune into the spiritual power within you. It is beyond what society understands and can offer you. It will nourish, protect, inspire, and guide you through any troubles. If your path is diverging from your original plans or is out of sync with those around you, trust in what is happening and know that you are within Kali's care. Dharma of Kali. Let's talk about Dharma for a second before I even read this. Dharma is what you're here to accomplish, right? So this whole process is part of your Dharma being played out. So, Dharma of Kali. Your most abundant successes manifest when you are aligned with your integrity. You do not need to put your faith in pathways or projects that do not resonate with your deeper spiritual knowing. Everything that is happening in your life is part of how your prayers are being answered. A new order is to be established, and you are being led into it. Mahavidya. Dang it. No matter how logical an approach may be or how sensible it may seem, there are times when the heart nudges us toward a different way. Have the courage to be moved by your heart along untried paths that resonate. Whatever the logical mind has to say about them, you are outgrowing a problem and birthing a superior outcome. So, this is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful. Namaste. I love you guys, and I'll see you later.